Hello, everyone. Welcome to From the Heart. I'm Joshua.
And I'm Mary, and we are excited to bring to you all that's new and good when it comes to arts in Central Florida. Here with us today is Beth Marshall, producing artistic director of Beth Marshall Presents.
She's here to tell us of her vision of the future for both her productions and her own personal artistic endeavors. Welcome, Beth.
Thanks so much for having me.
We are so glad to have you. This has been great conversation. So tell us, what does the future of Beth Marshall Presents look like, and what are some goals you have?
Well, one of the goals, and it's interesting because I know in past segment we talked about the profit versus nonprofit status. Play in a Day, which always kicks off my season, that I have been producing and involved with for like the last 17 years in some capacity, is part of my company that I want to be nonprofit because I want to see it live on beyond B&P even, right? So one of the goals is to get that to become a nonprofit, that part of the season. And another.
And how can our listeners help you do that?
Well, you can start donating. Any amount of money you want to donate, absolutely.
How would they do that?
Or in kind. They could go to bethmarshallpresents.com. They can contact me by emailing me at producer@bethmarshallpresents.com. They can come to any one of our shows and buy a ticket and make a donation there on spot. Or they can do in-kind donations, and those things can be things of the nature of legal services. They can be things of the nature of office supplies. They can be things in nature of volunteering for the event itself, in front or behind, in front of the house or behind the scenes in some capacity. Small businesses and folks that offer services can donate to our silent auction. And again, part of all these proceeds go to District 3 Thespian Scholarship for a young artist to begin his or her future in the arts.
That's awesome.
What is one of your favorite memories of Play in a Day?
Wow. One of my favorite memories of Play in a Day was when I actually wrote for Play in a Day. And I've only written for it one time. And with Play in a Day, you get your theme and you get your twist the night before, and then you have until around 6 o'clock at the night before, and then you have until like 6 a.m. to write. And I had, you know, you think, okay, that's 10 minutes. You know, it's a 10-minute play. You can do that. I stayed up all night. I was the last one to get my play, in, and was completely exhausted the entire day because on top of it, I was hosting and producing the event, so I had to still work. So I literally went about 48 hours on no sleep and was in a state, a trippy kind of state throughout the whole thing. But it was cool to be a playwright, and that's the sort of core of all of Play in a Day. It's about that, and it's about artists that normally don't get a chance to work together having that opportunity to do so.
Are they read at the end of the day or acted out? Do the actors?
They are fully acted out,
And
fully done, lights,
costumes,
set, costumes off book.
And memorized?
Off book.
So,
memorized.
oh wow.
Yes. Yeah, and
That
they have
sounds
about
scary.
7 hours. The actors have about 7 hours to make that happen. Yeah, it's a crazy day.
And can anyone get involved?
Somewhat anyone can get involved. There is a curation process for writers and directors. There are student slots that are given, and those are given to kids that excel in their programs. And then there's the audition process for actors. They come out of my season auditions, but if you are recommended or referred to by a veteran artist, we have about 150 artists that work on this project every year, then that kind of gets you in that door quicker. And sort of the rule of thumb, it's not hardcore rule, but we generally go 3 years in a row and then you take a break and let some new people in. And we do anywhere from 6 to 9 performances within the course of Play in a Day. So the growth of that is a big part of what I see in the future. Another big part is I'm looking for a warehouse space. And this warehouse space will be part living resident, part shop for my theatrical productions, and part workshop studio for my coachings and consultations, and maybe somewhat little mini showcases and recitals for my students. So that's in the next probably 3 years. And then to continue to develop new, relevant, exciting works. I'm really interested in works that make audiences feel and then think versus the other way around, right? So when I take a social political stance, instead of just going, here's the cause, here's what we're trying to get across here, let's look at this human condition and the people who think this way, feel in their shoes. Now, think about the cause. And that is sort of my take with any kind of art that I'm doing, whether it's more of a mainstream piece or more of an unconventional piece.
How do you feel the outcome is different by going at it?
I think it makes it a bit more universally accessible. The way I look at it is when I was little and I found that tribe and sort of decided that I'm an artist, and I think it was sort of maybe in the same way of someone who realizes they're gay. In that sort of way, I go, okay, I'm an artist. I'm a little different than what is the norm is seen to be, right? So I might have to work a little harder for people to take me seriously because I have this color hair or these tattoos or these piercings or something. So what do I have to do to make myself more accessible to you, make myself be taken seriously? So I took what I learned as a person and made that work in my art the same kind of way as when I produce or direct or act in it. So that's how I approach it.
Wow, that's a great point. So if you're looking ahead to the future, what are some works that already exist that you think Orlando needs to see, has to have, that Beth Marshall Presents wants to bring to us?
Well, we're bringing one, which is The Whale, and I keep talking about that. That's Samuel Hunter's work, The Whale. It's a very relevant piece. It's about a 650-pound man who is a recluse in his apartment, who is also an English teacher online, who has an estranged relationship with his daughter, and how they do or don't repair that, and how the world views this person up close and personal. So what I like to do in the art that I pick, and I don't really know what my future seasons are, or I would tell you, I would go, here's a little teaser. We're having auditions coming up for this current season, so I can't think past that at this moment. But it will always be something that makes people go, okay, I'm seeing this culture or this subculture or these people in a new light.
And you can put yourself in their shoes.
And that you can put yourself in their shoes. And that is thing one. And then thing two, I kind of tend to go for works that have really strong tour de force, stellar acting opportunities for actors. I'm actor-centric, and so that's gonna lead in a lot of those decisions in terms of stuff that's already published. If I think that actors who are in our city or Central Florida in general can really explore and do something that they don't get a chance to do, I'm generally gonna go for producing that. Same thing with the original work.
We love that about you.
Thank you.
The future,
And expect no less.
the future's bright for Beth Marshall Presents, and thank you for all the great art you bring to our community.
Well, thank you
we're very
for giving us
thankful.
this
Thank you, my friend.
opportunity
Thank
to
you.
sort
Absolutely.
of platform and get it out there in these conversations.
Great.
Yeah, come back sometime.
I will.
Thanks for joining Joshua and I, and we sure wish our talk with Beth could have been longer.
We hope you'll go experience one of Beth Productions, and when you do, if you see her, tell that Mary and Joshua say hello.
From the heart.